probably almost a foot. Here's another thing that we've run into. This is something you probably won't be able to notice unless you're actually in the house. Okay, under the sink here, all right everybody, we have a True Clayton home. It's manufactured by True, T-R-U, and I want to make this video for anyone who decides they want to buy a Clayton home, any type of manufactured home, what to expect. There's some things you might not realize when you're buying one of these manufactured homes, what you're going to get. Don't get me wrong, I really like the value you get for when you buy a manufactured home, but there's a few things you may not know about. So I'm going to give you all the all the problems that you may find in your new manufactured home. Okay, this is the living room, and that's the master bedroom door there. So in the middle of the night, pitch black dark, you're getting out of bed, you want to get something, a drink, whatever. There is no light switches over here to turn on the living room light. The only light switch is up against near the door there. And you come around this way, still no light switches. No light switch there. No light switch around the corner here. Closest light switch is over there. So you'll have to walk in the dark the whole way. And still no light switches over here. There's a switch for this light, dining room light, but it's up against the outside wall. Closest light switch is that one there, which turns on this light over the family room. So basically you're walking in the dark the whole time if you come out of the master bedroom. So what we did, we installed some remote switches in the lamps here. It just screws into the socket and you can control it with this here. That's how that works. So here in the laundry room, it's by the back door. I'm not happy with the placement of the outlet and the vent for the dryer. As you can see, it sits out probably almost a foot from the wall because they put the outlet. There's the outlet. You can't push the dryer back any further, mainly because of where the hot air comes out, that vent right there. You can see I even have the pipe crooked. I push it back as far as I can go, and there's still a large gap. They should have put that vent over as close as they can to this wall. Same with the outlet. The outlet's kind of quite a ways from the wall. So you end up with your dryer sticking out almost in the doorway here. Here's another thing that we've run into all around the house is there's something underneath the floor right here, and it's sticking up quite a bit. See how high there's some debris, pretty big. It starts right about here, goes over here. It could be a nail or a screw or something. And there's a few places inside the closets that have the same thing. There's debris under the floor. The floor is not glued down. It's a floating floor. I might just glue it on the edges, so but that's a problem that they have not fixed. They said they would, never did. Another problem we run into is wherever there's an opening between the two halves, they put down this section to cover the seam, but wherever there's an opening, it goes a little bit downhill here, so it tapers down. The floor's not perfectly level. And then in this one, in this bathroom in particular, it tapers down toward the seam, and then there's a little bit of a hump right here. It actually starts to go uphill right here. So the floors are not perfectly level. Other things in the bathroom here, you may not expect it in a new home, but Not sure what that is, like pieces of wood sticking out from behind the trim here. And this looks like a seam right here that they didn't fix properly. And they went ahead and stuccoed in the ceiling anyway. You may find little gaps also where the home comes together, like right here. Let's get this in the right light. There's a little bit of a gap here. Okay, under the sink here, you'll find that wherever they have plumbing coming up through the floor, they have not sealed around those holes. So you can actually feel from underneath, if you stick your hand over that hole there, you'll actually feel a little bit of air coming through there. They could have easily spray foamed that in. Another thing you may find is just some random nails sticking through the wall, like this one here. Okay, when you get your manufactured home and you go to turn the water on to take a shower, you're going to find that this is set to a certain temperature, and it's a really low temperature. I'm not sure, maybe 100 degrees or so. And the water's going to come out kind of lukewarm, only you won't be able to take a hot shower. So there's an adjustment. You have to take this knob off, and there's an adjustment in there where you can change the limit of how hot the water can get. They do give you a paper. This is the paper they give you on how to make that adjustment. The thing with the bathroom, there's only one outlet. This is a pretty big bathroom, and they only have one outlet in here for this manufacturer. You got GFI protected outlet, one of them right there. Be nice to have another one here near the sink. Here's something else you may not expect, but every wall will have holes in it. See, like a little hole there, a hole there, a hole there, all the way down. I think what that is, when they install these panels, they just staple it in the middle until they come back and staple the edges just to hold it. Like every panel will have those holes in the wall all down the side. And some of the batten strips, they may have missed where to put the staples. The staple holes are supposed to be under the batten strips. So you're going to see things like this. They're in a hurry when they make these. And you'll see sometimes they don't cover the walls, the holes in the walls. Things you might run into is where they didn't even staple the trim on, like this here. There's one right there, and that may have come loose during the move when they moved the manufactured home. Things like this. Not sure what that happened there. And big gaps. Gaps in the trim. Uneven trim, not fitting right. You may see that. That's pretty common. Here is an access panel. There's a bathroom behind here, behind this wall. And you can see here are some other things. You may not expect it, but this may happen, that they didn't put any screws here. So they missed one here too. Or that's on purpose, or they just missed one there. And when you first get your home, you're going to see a lot of this dust from the drywall installation. It'll be everywhere. You'll have to do a bunch of cleaning. This room we haven't done much cleaning in here. It's kind of an extra room, but you'll see that. You'll have to do a bunch of cleaning. Okay, here's some more of the ceiling texture. This room we have not gone through yet. Little spots everywhere. And I think there's a spot here. I don't know if it'll show, but it looks like they may have wiped the ceiling texture away. And there's kind of a spot on the wall right there where some texture was, and they cleaned it up. Some other things are the cabinets. Now, the cabinet quality, I think they could have spent an extra $1,000 and put in better cabinets. I'd be willing to pay a little bit more and get better quality cabinets. One thing I do not like at all, and this is the manufacturer of this home, True, is take a look inside here. It's just bare OSB. That's not acceptable, really. So we are going to put new cabinets in here, not this year, maybe next year. But to me, they could have spent just a little more and got some cabinets where it wasn't bare OSB like that. And the thickness of the doors, very thin, very cheap. I do like I'm not real happy with the color of these cabinets, but whatever they coat the cabinets with is a nice high quality finish, or plastic wrap, or whatever it is. I do like that. If you need to clean it, it cleans up good. I can't remember the exact Dura something. They call that Dura something on the cabinets. I do like the brushed stainless hardware throughout the whole home. Everything's brushed stainless. All the knobs, door knobs, everything is brushed stainless. I like that. Okay, so depending on the model you buy, you may get what they refer to as a trailer door. It's not it's shorter in height than a house door. And they're steel, and they always have this window, like this little narrow window. You'll know what I'm talking about. And they just have this little metal lip that seals against the trim here. And they're a very cheap door. So depending on the model you buy, you may get a house door or a manufactured home door, which I think they shouldn't really use these doors anymore. I think they should go to all house doors. It may only cost another $100, but I'm going to change these out eventually too. The things you may notice when you get your manufactured home are things like this. The trim is just not glued on good. It's coming off. There's little nicks somewhere in here. I noticed right here. Like they sawed that a little bit too far. Got a sharp edge on there. There's another one over here where it's chipped out. Some things I'm wanting to live with. I did not complain about that. Any of those things. Those can be fixed. And you gotta expect things are not going to be perfect. And they're probably not going to replace the whole countertop because of some damages like that. Thing. You may see this. I've seen this on some of the model homes we toured, that they had this problem too, where the doorway is crooked. See the gap across the top here? Now that to me is unacceptable. I don't think they should even ship the home if it looks like that. There's another thing, the trim is broken here. So you'll run into things like that where the trim is not perfect. But to me, this is unacceptable. I think they need to make sure the doorways are square. I've seen that on some of the model homes too. Even the windows were crooked like that too. Like they built the opening crooked. This bedroom has walk-in closets. 3 out of the 4 have walk-in closets. And I noticed all the walk-in closets the door will swing inward, which limits the amount of things you can put in the closet because you need room to swing the door open. This bedroom here has the closet kind of sticks out into the room. It's not like a walk-in closet. But this one, the door swings out. Because if it swung in, you really wouldn't have any room. We still have boxes to unpack. And this closet's pretty narrow. This is the smallest bedroom. Something you may not expect, but when you buy your manufactured home, you'll need to buy shower curtain rods, shower curtains. You'll need to buy a toilet paper holder. We didn't get any of those. And no towel bars. None of those things come with your manufactured home. At least not this model that we bought. Another thing is, when you get your manufactured home, you will not have any gutters or downspouts unless you order them from the factory that way. Ours, they didn't. There was no option. So you have to have those installed and expect to pay $800 to $1,000 depending on the size of the home. Another thing you may not expect, but there will be tears in the plastic that's underneath your manufactured home. And you'll need to go around and tape up these tears like I did here. All around where they put this faucet in here, they had to cut the insulation. And there's an outlet under here for heat tape for your pipes. Check all those. Basically go underneath the hole. There may be some damage from transport, like here. There's a spot I had to tape up here also, where it was just cut. It was a slice in there. So your home may have some waviness in the siding like this here. Just take a look down the side here. There's little waves in it. Nothing bad, but there'll be the little imperfections like that. Also need to plan ahead because you'll need to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 on some underpinning or some insulated panels to put on the bottom of your home, because most times they're not included. It may seem like I'm knocking the manufactured homes, but I'm not really. I just want you to be aware there are some things you may not expect when you buy a manufactured home like this. Some of these things, no problem, I can live with it. The price is at least half the price of a stick-built home, so you have to expect a few things you got to live with.